Welcome. Because you're here watching this video, I'm sure you're wondering what all of the excitement is about ILA. And I'm sure that your first question is also going to be, what is ILA? Well, I'm happy to answer that for you. ILA is an app for smartphones that delivers content once a week with things like personal enrichment, professional development, time management, wealth building, leadership, health, goal setting, and much, much more. More than I put on the screen here for you. I got to tell you, this is really an outstanding app. And the great thing is, you are able to go on the app anytime and look through all of this stuff. So it's not like a one delivery, one time. It's always there for you to review at any time you want. Now I got to ask you, how many of you could use some better time management? How about wealth building? I know I need them all. And the best thing is, they pay us to share this with others. So think of it like this. Instead of just paying for an app and the company takes all the money, ILA lets us do the advertising for them, and they pay us for doing it. It's not a requirement by any means, but isn't that a great option? Listen, if you like the app, why wouldn't you go tell somebody? Now, let me give you some numbers and let you know why is this exciting and why should you care about an app that pays you? Well, we're going to start with the 1.2. What does that stand for? 1.2 billion apps downloaded. Now, many of you might be thinking, wow, 1.2 billion apps downloaded in 2012. Well, no, guys, that was actually just during Christmas week of 2012. Isn't that amazing? It lets you know that we're in the right space. The apps are, this is the future, you guys. What does 8 stand for? Well, 8 is for $8 billion a year that's going through the iTunes store for these apps alone. And the reason I say alone is because I'm not even counting the crazy growth from Android and all the apps that are being sold there. They're trying to catch Apple. So it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we know we're in the right space. What's the 1.8? Well, 1.8 is million smartphones that are sold daily. That number is crazy. And you know why that's a great number? Because it means that there's going to be more app sales and more potential customers of ILA, which could become part of your team. So that's a great number as well. And this last one, 5 stands for 5 years. I read this in a tech article recently that they're saying in 5 years, the mobile is going to be bigger than the World Wide Web. And as a tech guy, I honestly believe it's going to be sooner than that, because just think, why would you have internet access at home and pay for that and your computer there when you're walking around with a computer in your pocket that has access to the internet anywhere? So I really think it's going to be much faster than that myself. So here's another reason why people are flocking to this right now. It's the content, you guys. Personal and business development is a huge industry. It's over $14 billion per year, and it's growing. I mean, it's growing by leaps and bounds. In fact, through all of the pictures I have up here, most of you will recognize, if not one person, many, but I just want to let you know that 3 of the people on here, including the author of Think and Grow Rich, have passed from us. They're no longer with us. And just in the last year, we've lost Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar and Napoleon Hill. We lost in the 70s. But I got to tell you guys that their businesses are thriving. They're actually growing because they left such a great legacy of personal development, which is huge industry. Now, did you know that one of the best-selling books of all time is a personal development book? Yep, you can look it up. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it's still popular today. Guys, I believe this is actually going to change the fabric of how business is done across the planet. Think of this now. Think of ILA. When they've got 1 million members, and when you see this in just a few seconds and how I show you how this grows, when they have over 1 million members, which I know is going to be this year, easily, and let's say they got 1 million members and they're growing strong, these leaders that you see on the screen, the ones that are with us and even the ones that have their legacy businesses that are still growing, they are going to approach ILA and say, what can I do to purchase or to pay you to get on your feed for next week? I want to be your content for next week. Why would they do that? Well, guys, think how they're advertising now when you talk about television, radio, ads, mails, snail mail. It's not producing results like 1 million people getting touched like that through ILA. Think of it. When they send out their content, it hits 1 million people instantly. Buzz your phone. You have the content right in front of you, and you take it anywhere you go. A television ad doesn't do that. Radio ad doesn't do that. This is going to be huge. It's going to be a game changer, and you are definitely in the right industry with the right developers. So with that, you're probably wondering now, why ILA? And I realize you probably don't know too much about app development, but just know that ILA is partnered with Savage Apps, who has created the #1 downloaded app in 50 countries. So they couldn't have a better partner. These guys know exactly what they're doing. And another reason is it's a global opportunity, which means, man, it's limitless, you guys. You can grow your business anywhere across the globe because their smartphones are everywhere. And it just makes it that much easier for all of us to be successful in this. And another reason, it's a force matrix. And I'm going to go a little more in depth on this in a few seconds, but it's a 3x7 matrix with spillover. And if you're familiar with spillover and looking at this for the first time, I know you're already probably texting the person that sent you here to get signed up because you know exactly how powerful this can be. And my favorite is, guys, this is first to market. And what does that mean? Well, think of this. We all know successful companies that were first to market, like the ones you're seeing on the screen: Coca-Cola, Microsoft, McDonald's, Apple, and many, many others. And we all recognize these names because they're already successful. The real gift is to know when a company is going to be successful before they are. Let me show you an example of that. Let me ask you a question. Do you know who Ronald Wayne is? And I guarantee you, 99% of the population plus is going to say, no, we don't know. And the reason I'll tell you is because he never took the risk to stay with a company that would become one of the top companies in the world. And there's a reason why I left that logo up there. Let me tell you a little bit about Ronald. He worked with Steve Jobs at Atari before he, Jobs, and Wozniak founded Apple Computer in April of 1976. He was one of the top original three, you guys. In fact, he drew the first Apple logo, and that's not it. It actually looks more like a wine label, but he drew the first logo. He wrote the first three, the three guys' original partnership agreement, and he wrote the first Apple manual. Now, what he got for that was he got 10% stake in Apple. But you know what, guys? 2 weeks later, he gave up his 10% stake for $800. 2 weeks later, $800. Guys, do you know what I looked this up. Do you know what his 10% stock would have been worth as of August of last year, 2012? He would have had over $58 billion. That's billion. So I'm encouraging you for the low risk of $10 to take a chance on a company that you might have the same type of success before it has the success. So you're definitely in the right space, guys. Now, according to CNN, they're saying that you can actually find him if you want to look for him in one of his favorite places, which is the Nugget Casino in Nevada. I guess maybe he's trying to win back that $58 billion. So I'm not trying to make fun, guys. I'm just saying don't let this be you when you have an opportunity like this. And when we talk about first to market, this isn't pre-launch until April. What that means to you is if you're listening to this right now, you're one of the first people in the world to hear about this. Take advantage of it. Please. They're at 40,000 people that are currently involved, and I'm going to give you the date. That's by Friday of February 1st. So if you're listening to this anytime near that date, take advantage of it because you are definitely one of the first. Another reason, there are a lot of opportunities out there for all of us. And this is a choice that you can make, and we've made choices like this. My wife has been pretty successful in the potion and lotion industry, what we like to call it. And even though we did pretty well, I got to tell you that less than 3% of people ever make money in those industries. Why? It's a high cost. It's a must recruit. You've got to recruit to make money in it and sell. And you have 150. I mean, it's a huge range, but it's pretty average, 150 up to 1,000 monthly. Who can afford that nowadays? If I can't start my own business, who can afford something like that? And that you have to recruit just to recoup that money. Well, that's versus this, guys. This is really no-brainer. Look how simple this is. It's what everybody already has. Their phone. It's low cost, low barrier to entry, $10. Come on, you guys. And recruiting is optional. For $10 to get a business to get started, anyone can do this. So as we move on, we had mentioned force matrix, so I know your question is still there. What is a force matrix? Well, a force matrix, in this case, ILA uses a 3x7 force matrix, and what that means is that every position has 3 spots directly under it, and it goes down 7 levels. and every position automatically fills in from top to bottom and left to right, as you see in the graph here that's illustrated. And I'll give you a visual of that in just a second. And this creates spillover, meaning people become part of your team from above and below, and you'll see that in the visual. And the difference in this one is that you're not forced to recruit to participate in the compensation. And I like to refer to non-recruiters as hitchhikers, someone who's just along for the ride, watching the scenery. And while it's perfectly acceptable to do that, I encourage you to take the wheel and control of your business by participating, because hitchhikers don't always end up to their destination, right? So here you go. This, as you can see on the left, when we said there's 3 in every position and it goes down 7 levels, by the time you're done with your matrix being full, that's going to pay you a little over $2,500 per month. How crazy is that for $10 membership to get $2,500 per month? Now, some of you that are unfamiliar with matrices might be saying to yourself, man, that looks like a lot of people. I don't know 2,000 plus people. Well, I'm here to assure you, don't let this dissuade you or deter you. You don't need to know them. We recently had a business, you guys, that was a matrix based, and we went from 40 people in May to over actually it was close to 5,800 in August. When people start talking about this, your business is going to fly. Now, there's some matching bonuses and strategies to actually maximize this plan, which are really simple, and it leads to a lot more money. But for the sake of time, we'll send you those videos as soon as you've enrolled. Okay, so how does the matrix work? Well, it all starts with you. Once you have your position, it's simple. Just start telling your friends. And remember, I'm going to reiterate again, it fills in top to bottom, left to right, like you're seeing here in this illustration. So as you start to tell your buddies, like your college buddy Brett, about this opportunity, he's going to go in your first position. And then you're going to tell him, he's excited, by the way, because he knows what this is going to do. He's been involved in a matrix before. You're going to tell your Uncle Archie about this, who knows the potential. In fact, he doesn't even have a cell phone. He just knows what this is going to do. So he got involved anyway. And then you told your crazy cousin, who goes in your last available spot on your first level. So what happens next? Well, before you could sponsor somebody else, your buddy Brett figured this out. He knows what's going on, and he contacted 2 of his pals and got them in right away, and they're excited. But I'll tell you what, before he could put another person in, you called your buddy Manny, who was excited to get in, and guess where he's going to go? Well, it's the next open spot for you in your tree, which happens to be in Brett's last spot on that first level. So you call Manny, you get him in. Manny is so excited, and guess what happened? Everyone wins here because Manny just became part of Brett's business, who's part of your business, and you're helping out a buddy, and everybody benefits from this. And guess what is even better than that? Manny is from the Philippines. Now you just created international business, not just for yourself, but for Brett. So Brett's really happy, and Manny is actually getting this. In fact, he is so excited. He decided to personally call you and tell you that, hey, you're the man. Thank you. So while he's calling you, Uncle Archie, who doesn't even have a cell phone, gets his people in that he knows, and your crazy cousin gets a few crazy people that she knows. Well, guess what happens next, guys? This is how fast it can go. And this is how fast it does go. I've been witness to this. If you look at all the green sections here on the 3rd level, all the people here, none of those are sponsored by you. They've all come from people in those segments, those 3 segments somewhere. They've all come from them. And this is going to happen again and again and again. And now while you're looking at this, you're probably going, hey, what's that blue guy sitting there in the tree? Well, you're probably thinking that's another guy that you sponsor, but no, it's not. This is another part of spillover. This came from someone above you that you don't know, who sponsored another person you don't know that just became part of your business. And guess what's cool? It wasn't just part of your business. It became part of Willie's business and your crazy cousin's business at the same time. So when you're looking at this, you guys, you can realize how fast this can grow with or without you in a lot of cases. So my suggestion to you is don't wait. It's only $10. Get started and have fun. Contact the person that got you this video and lock in your position as soon as possible, and I'll see you on the next video.